Mm. Mm. Today, we got Storytime with a fruit salad and a cheeseburger. Mm. Mm. Y'all, y'all already know I eat wood combinations. I felt like a good cheeseburger with a fruit salad, y'all. So that's what we eating, straight up for real. Mm. Mm. I'm sorry, y'all. I've been feeling for this burger. Just a Five Guys burger. I got 5 patties, extra cheese, grilled onions, mayo, and ketchup. When I tell y'all hitting that spotty yaddy yaddy, spotty yaddy yaddy. Okay. Mm. Mm 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 mm. Mm 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 mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. And I got honey on mine, y'all. As y'all can see, this is some organic honey. I like to put a little honey on my fruit salad. And that says it's organic, y'all, but I don't know, because sometimes I think they be lying. For real. I still buy it, y'all, but I really think they be lying sometimes. Like, no cap. Mm-hmm. I, don't, I really, really think they be lying sometimes, Carl. Mm-mm. That don't be adding up. Mm. Mm-hmm. If y'all wondering what's in the salad, y'all, I'm trying to dig to the bottom to get, oh, there we go. I got grapes, mango, pineapple, strawberry, and kiwi. And I just drizzled a little honey on there. Mm-hmm. I ran into one of my homeboys this weekend, and he was giving me an update on his life. And when I tell y'all, it was off the biggity biggity boom boom ching ching boom boom pow. Okay, baby, because I was like, what, 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 what? Like, y'all, it was just that deep. Now, keep in mind, y'all, I really don't have a lot of male friends because, you know, guys tend to be extra, okay? Yeah, because it's like, you can see we on the same team. Why are you trying to recruit me, okay? Like, I don't care how many shots I have. I don't care how intoxicated I get. Baby, it's a no for me. It's a no for me, okay? So I typically don't hang out with guys, but this one guy, he was cool, and he never really tried me like that. And so, yeah, I thought we was real close until everything went down. So let me give y'all the backstory on what happened the last time me and him had dealings with each other. Now, keep in mind, y'all, I thought it was kind of cool running into him because he, like I told y'all, I'm Florida raised, Texas made. So I'm originally from Florida. Now, me running into him in Houston, I was like, wow, that's very deep, okay? So I was kind of excited. But when he went to telling me what was going on with him, I was like, what? But okay, y'all, so let me give y'all the backstory. So I used to always call him my fire buddy. And I always call him my fire buddy because, see, he was one of those peoples that have a barbecue but never had anything to barbecue with. Like, he would always send out a group text like, hey, y'all, I'm having a barbecue today. What y'all bringing? So I used to always tell him, like, you know what, Dante? If we bringing the meat, the sides, the alcohol, the drinks, like, technically you ain't having a barbecue, baby. You having a fire. Yeah, you know, you having a fire. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. For real, y'all. anyways, y'all, now the last time we all hung out, y'all, it was kind of interesting. And I say it was interesting because, see, we all was together and his mama them was there. Now listen, his mama them don't like his girlfriend. And I ain't gonna lie, when I first met her, I thought she was kind of weird too, but I did warm up to her to understand, okay, the type of person she was. And she seemed like a cool person once I really got to know her. But I kind of was suspicious of her when we first met because, y'all, we was all out to eat, right? And she got up and she was like, I got to use the bathroom. And we was like, okay. So she went to the bathroom. Now, mind y'all, she was going to the bathroom for like maybe 10, 15 minutes. She was in there for a long time. She was in there long enough for Dante to get up and go looking for her. And when I say he went looking for her, like he straight up walked in the woman's bathroom. That's the type of dude he was. He was kind of like crazy like that. But anyways, when he walked in the woman's bathroom, he saw that she was on the phone with her baby daddy. So he come back to the table and he was upset. And he's just like, I don't understand why you got to be in the bathroom talking to your baby daddy. Like, what's so secret about it? Now, she was like, Dante, don't worry about it. You ain't got to worry about me talking to my baby daddy. I would never hook up with him because I don't date men with kids. Now, when she said that, I didn't want to be nosy. But y'all know sometimes I'm just nosy. So I kept thinking in my head, like, but that's your baby daddy and you wouldn't date him. So y'all, I couldn't wrap my head around it. So I finally asked her, I was like, do your baby daddy got more than one baby mama? Like, do he got other kids besides the one he had with you? And she was like, no, he only got one child. That's our daughter. So when she told me that, y'all, for the rest of the afternoon, I was just looking at her strange, like, Cause y'all, I couldn't figure it out because I'm like, it wasn't adding up to me, y'all. But I let it go because at the end of the day, it wasn't my business. But that's why I always thought she was kind of strange, right? But once I got to know her, she was pretty cool. But then she started to be a little too cool. So the last time we hung out, it was at one of his fires, right? So we all show up there, everybody chilling, we cooling. And so when I see her, she like, hey, Zen, what you doing? How you been doing? I'm like, I'm good, girl. How you doing? You know, and we just having small talk. So she was like, oh, look what I made for the barbecue. I want you to taste it. I was like, no, ma'am, I'm not tasting that. I'm not tasting that because, see, number one, the last time you cooked something and you brought it to my house, baby, it looked like a science project. Like, for real, y'all. Like, for real. It was just too much. I'm like, I'm not eating that. Matter of fact, you need to go get your man to taste that. Yeah, your man need to taste that, baby. Not eating that. I'm not eating that. I'm not doing that. But other than that, y'all, it was pretty cool. But now when everybody was chilling, hanging out, his mama them walked in. Now keep in mind, his mama them don't like her. His mama them never did like her. And so once they came in, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of left because, see, I didn't even want that negative energy because they be doing too much. So I didn't really get along with his parents on that level. Like, I didn't like to be around when they were doing the, grimy stuff they would be doing to her. So I kind of just left. So now fast forward, y'all, after that evening, I'm gonna say it was about 2 or 3 days later, I decided to go get me a burger, right? And then when I walk into this burger joint, guess who I see? I see Dante's girlfriend and she's with her baby daddy. Now once I saw that, I was like, I want to do Dante know she out with her baby daddy. But y'all, once again, I thought, you know what? None of my business. So even though I saw them, we made eye contact. We didn't say anything to each other. Like, she didn't speak to me. So honestly, I just didn't speak to her. So like, I didn't want to text him, y'all, because I felt like maybe I would be overreacting. And at the same time, I didn't want to be messy because I can be messy. And I try not to be messy. And I really try to mind my business. Because see, y'all, and why I say I didn't want to be messy, because like, I know I have strict boundaries when I'm dating someone with a kid. And sometimes I feel like uncomfortable having those boundaries. And what I mean by that is, I was dating this lady one time and she had a kid. Now listen, I'm the type of person like this. If your child having a birthday party or something, cool, invite her daddy because that's her dad. He need to be there. I don't care who throw the party, like invite him. He ain't got to buy nothing, just bring her a gift or whatever. Holidays or something, if he want to stop by the house, get a Thanksgiving plate, see his daughter, whatever, cool. Christmas, whatever, cool. Graduations or something, cool. But see, as soon as you talking about you finna go eat dinner with your baby daddy, oh baby, that's a straight up date to me. Like, I don't know if that's my trigger if it's triggering me. I don't know if it's past trauma, but to me, that's a straight up day. Like, what y'all gotta eat dinner to talk about y'all kid for? Y'all better talk on the phone. And even then, don't be flirting and all that. So it's like, it's just for me, I'm like, I didn't want to be messy because basically I could have been overthinking what I was thinking. So after I left the burger joint, y'all, I'm not gonna lie, I decided to text Dante because I'm like, I could be overthinking this, I could be triggered, but at the same time, my gut instincts was saying, just tell him you saw her. So I text him and I'm like, hey, I just ran into your baby mama and her baby daddy at the burger joint. So as soon as I said that, he started blowing up my phone. Like, what they doing? What they doing? I'm like, well, I'm not even there no more. I done left. He was like, nah, go back. I'm like, go back for what? He talking about go take a picture. And I'm saying, for what? Why do I need to take a picture of her? I just told you I saw her. What, you think I'm lying or something? He was like, nah, I needed this proof. Because see, she be lying all the time. And I'm like, but she saw me. We made eye contact. So all you got to do is say Zen said, because I straight up saw her. And he was like, no, Zen, you don't understand. I could be looking straight at her doing something and she would lie and say she didn't do it. Like, I need her on a picture. I need you to go take a picture. So long story short, he convinced me to go back and take a picture. So when I get there, they gone. They gone. So my thought is, when she saw me, they probably ordered their food real quick and packed up after I left. So I tell him, hey, they gone. They're not here no more. So now he mad, yelling at me like I did something wrong. I was like, well, hold on. First of all, I was doing you a favor, and I started not to call you in the first place. Second of all, if you got to do all that and you need a picture, all that, boy, you need to leave that girl alone, because ain't no way you gonna be out here doing something and you know what you doing, and like, yeah, he just frustrated me. So I ended up hanging up on him because I'm like, see, this is why I shouldn't have never said nothing. So long story short, he kept blowing up my phone because at this time she's not responding. So he was calling me up until like 9:30 at night. He keep calling me talking about, Zen, have you seen her again? I'm like, child, I'm at home right now. How I'm gonna see her? I saw her in the burger joint. Like, I'm at home. I don't know where they went in. I don't know what they doing. I just told you what I saw. I'm at home. So he was like, okay, he tripping. So I'm going to say like 7:30 that next morning, he come bamming on my door. Now that ran me hot, y'all, because see, I don't like people like showing up unexpected visits. I'm very, 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 very strict with that, y'all. And it's only because like I feel like your house is your sacred area. Like, that's your spot. Like, you can't really control what goes on in this world, but when you're home, that's like where you get your power back, where you take your control back. So I don't like people showing up unexpected. And I'm one of them people that if you come to my house unexpected, I'm gonna straight up look at you and not answer the door, because what? No call, I ain't finna answer this door. But he was acting so frantic, like, Zen, answer, it's important. I know you see me. So I answered the door. I'm like, child, you didn't even call me. Like, why you just showing up at my house? You know I don't play that. So he's talking about, man, I don't know what to do. She didn't come home last night. I was like, what? She didn't come home last night? He said, no. I said, well, did you talk to her? He said no. So basically, he had been calling her and texting her all day since I had told him I saw her, and no response. So at that point, once he said he was texting her too, I was like, well, what did you text her? He said, I told her straight up, I know she with her baby daddy, that she was lying. I said, okay, well, that's probably why she didn't come home. Because see, at that point, I was thinking like this, like, okay, well, she got caught with her baby daddy. She made a choice, and it wasn't you. That's what I was thinking, y'all, because what else could it be? So he's like, no, man, something wrong. And I was like, well, why are you so convinced that something wrong? And he kept saying, I can feel it. So I'm like, you know what? That's your girl. Y'all have been together for a few years. Maybe you can. So I'm like, well, okay, well, what we supposed to do now? Like, I don't know what you want me to do. What you need from me? He was like, well, let's go. So basically, he want to go over her best friend house. Now, he know that I'm kind of cool with the best friend a little bit. So he feel like if I go over there with him, that basically she gonna answer the door. So he want me to go over there, knock on the door, whatever, and he feel like, okay, boom, she gonna answer the door because I'm with her. So soon as we pull up at the best friend house, y'all, tell me why his girlfriend baby daddy car is in the driveway of the best friend house. Yes, in the driveway. So y'all, when I see that, I'm like, oh, this is not good. And the whole time I'm thinking like, I wish I would have never texted him that, because I'm like, man, I don't know what's finna happen right now. Because soon as he see it, soon as he saw that car, he started flipping out. So basically, he pull up in the driveway and he like, come on, Zen, get out. I was like, hold on, I'm not going in there. I said, and if you were smart, you wouldn't go in there. He's talking about what? I ain't scared of nothing. She gotta explain to me. I said, well, first of all, I don't want to go in there because number one, we at a disadvantage. We don't know who all in there. We don't know what they got in there, if they got weapons, and I don't know what's finna go down. And I'm like, the best thing we could do is you need to text her and tell her to come out. But us going in is not a good idea because we don't know what we walking into. Like, it's just not a smart idea. So he was like, you know what, Zen, you right. So basically, he was calling her phone, texting her phone, no response, no answer. So we sat out there doing that for like 10, 15 minutes. And she straight up wasn't responding. She wasn't responding to text messages. She wasn't answering no calls. So he getting madder and madder. So he was like, man, I'm just finna go knock on the door. So I was like, man, don't go in there. Like, I was trying to convince him not to do it because, like I said, you at a disadvantage, bro. You're at a disadvantage. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know, and at this point, they probably done saw us outside by now. And the fact that nobody's coming out, that means they had enough time to prepare to do whatever. Like, I'm not going in there. Don't do it. Yeah, y'all. So basically, he ended up getting out the car, going to knock on the door. Now, see, where we were parked at, I could see her front door from where we was parked at. So I could see he was standing there talking to her best friend for at least like a minute or two. And then after that, she started yelling, saying, Zen, come get him, Zen, come get your friend. So basically, he's trying to just Debo his way in there at this point. And so I get out the car, and I'm basically trying to calm him down. Because I'm like, listen, check this out. Like, you don't want to go inside. Because this is the thing. If she really is in there, and she's not coming out, look how mad you is now. Do you think if you go in there, she gonna act any different? Like, she gonna straight up be acting the same way she acting now. Like, she don't want to talk to you. Like, she don't care. And that's gonna make you madder. And so it's gonna just escalate from there. So I'm like, you really don't want to go inside. Not to mention, the best friend was saying she not in there. And she said, Zen, now if she was in here, I would have made her come out because I don't want to deal with this. Like, I don't want this drama in my house. So if she was in here, I would have made her come out. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was starting to believe her because me knowing her, I think she would have told her like, come get your man type of thing, because she the type of person that she really don't like drama like that. So at this point, he pretty much just Debo his way in there. And when he Debo his way in there, she was like, okay, now look, you finna look stupid. So he walking from room to room, and then boom, he walking her room. Tell me why the baby daddy is in the best friend bed. So basically, the baby daddy is involved with the best friend. So I told him, like, bro, we need to go. So he started asking this man questions like, where my girl at? Like, what you doing with my girl? Like, you think I don't know what y'all been doing? And I'm like, don't you see what's happening? I said, you just went in every room in this house. She's not there. It's clear he's involved with the best friend, and that's why she didn't want us to go inside the house. Because, hello, her best friend probably don't know that she messing with her baby daddy. So I was like, boy, you need to just come on, let's go. So we end up leaving the house, and all day, he's like searching for her. We can't find her. And I'm like, yo, I don't even know what to do at this point, because we done searched everywhere. She's not answering. So I just told him, like, I don't know. So this went on for like a couple days. Every day he was calling me like, have you seen her? I'm like, I haven't saw her. Now, y'all, a week go by, and after a week go by, she finally called his phone. But when she called his phone, y'all, guess where this lady at? This lady is locked up in immigration. Yes. When he called me and told me that, I was like, immigration? Now, keep in mind, I didn't know she was a foreigner. I mean, like, I knew she wasn't from this country, but, like, I didn't think she didn't have a green card or nothing like that. Like, I didn't know that she was basically illegal in this country. I didn't know that. And then on top of that, I'm like, well, what was she doing for immigration to come get her? Like, I don't know, y'all. Bottom line, she was in immigration prison, y'all. In an immigration prison waiting to be deported. So he's freaking out. He called me. He like, Zen, you gotta find me a bondsman. I know you know some good bondsmen. I say, what, immigration? ICE? Is ICE got her, bro? Ain't no bondsman can help her. What you need to do right now is try to get you a passport. You need to try to get you a passport and go wherever she's being shipped at. Because ain't no bondsman finna help you. He like, okay, you right. So now I was talking to him for a few weeks after that. And y'all, after that, he just disappeared off the face of the earth. When I say disappeared, this man disappeared. I hadn't heard nothing from him after that. until I ran into him this past weekend. Yes, this was the first time I saw him after that. So I was like, what, where you been at? So he was pretty much updating me on what happened. Y'all, so come to find out, she got deported because his mama them had called ISIS and told ISIS that she was a big time drug dealer and she's illegal. Yes. So apparently ISIS had been watching her, waiting to arrest, but once they saw she wasn't, like, they couldn't catch her up and doing no type of drugs activity, because the lady wasn't no drug dealer at all. That was just his mama them saying that because basically they were mad that, you know, they was together. And I knew his mama them didn't like her, but I didn't know it was that deep. So yeah, they end up calling ISIS saying she's a big time drug dealer. So ISIS come, they arrest her, and she was deported. So he tell me that she had to sit in that prison for 4 to 5 months before they shipped her back to Mexico. Yeah, shipped her back to Mexico. And he said it got worse from there. And I said, what happened? So basically, he said he fell into a depression. He got real depressed. He said, because keep in mind, because and that's what I asked him when that first happened. I was like, well, because I didn't know she was illegal. And I asked him, I said, you know, y'all been dating for like 3 years. If you was really in love with her, like, and you knew she was illegal, why didn't you marry her? He never did answer that question. And so I left it alone because I felt like it was a sensitive topic. Like, I'm only going to ask you a question one time. And if you ignore me, I'm going to think like, okay, this is something you feel ain't my business, so I'm not going to ask again. So he told me that he fell into a deep depression because he felt bad that he didn't marry her. Because come to find out, she had asked him to marry her at least 2 times, got a ring and proposed to him and all. And he said no. And he said he refused to marry her because he felt like if he married her, that basically his parents would be right. So his parents was telling him, hey, this lady's trying to marry you for a green card. So to prove everybody wrong, he said, you know, he refused to marry her. Because, hey, that's proven that she with me because she loved me. So once she got deported, he felt bad. And he fell into a deep depression. And then he said once she got deported, basically, she was over there for like 6 months. And I'm like, well, why didn't you go be with her? And he said, well, because, he said, when I finally did go over there to be with her, she told me don't come because she had got cancer. And I was like, what? She had cancer? And he said, yeah, she got cancer. And so pretty much he was like, and pretty much once that she told him, hey, listen, I got cancer and this and that, keep in mind, they both was depressed. He was like, you know, we both was depressed about everything that was going on. And then once she got cancer, he was like, it was better for me to stay in the States because I can make more money here. And he was like, yeah, he was like, so, and mind you, he made good money. The man made good money. And he said he was sending 80% of everything he made to Mexico to take care of her because she had cancer. Yes. And he said he was spending all his money, sending all his money to her, that basically he ended up being homeless. He said he ended up being homeless. He was sleeping from couch to couch, from friend house to friend house. Keep in mind, he wasn't talking to his parents no more because his parents had, you know, caused all this situation to happen. And he wasn't talking to them. So he said he was homeless, working a good job, sending her all the money. And he said that went on for like 2.5 years. After 2.5 years, he was like, you know, I was depressed. All I could do was work and send her money. She was depressed and, you know, she had cancer. Come to find out, she ended up committing suicide, y'all. Yes. So he said he went over there because basically he was sending her money. So from what he said, he only visited her a few times before she got cancer. And so he said, you know, he got just tired of working and being homeless. He was like, you know, I'm going to find me a good work from home, to where basically he had found a job to where he can work in the States but be in Mexico. It was like a work from home or something like that he said he was doing. And when he went over there, she wasn't alive. Yeah, her parents said straight up she ended up committing suicide. And he was wondering because, keep in mind, he said a month before he went over there, he did lose contact with her. And that's what kind of got him, you know, going like, okay, no, I need to go be with my girl, my future wife. I need to go. The process was taking long, so apparently they was trying to get her back in the States. For whatever reason, it wasn't working. They lost contact for a month, so he's like, no, you know, I need to go. I need to be with her. So he said he got a good job. He went over there. Her parents say, yeah, she had unalived herself. And y'all, that's not it though. This is the thing. I'm like, is more? He was like, yes. I was like, what? What now? And so he said, after that happened, he said he came back to the States. He was so depressed, he ended up getting addicted to drugs because he was like, he just felt bad. He felt bad that he didn't marry her. He basically, even though his parents did it, he blamed himself because he was like, if he had married her, then basically, even when his parents did that, it probably wouldn't have happened. Everything probably wouldn't have went down the way it happened. So when he went over there and found out that she unalived herself, he said he just lost it, and he got addicted to drugs. And so he was on drugs for like 6 months. He said he lost his job, all that, basically living on the streets. So after all that happened, y'all, he said basically, so he was on drugs. He had got addicted to drugs and stuff. And he said, one day he was so depressed, he decided to log into her Facebook of all things. And he said, he was just logging in to try to get like old pictures of them and stuff. He was going to make an album or something he was trying to do. So basically he went into her Facebook, and when he logged in, y'all, he said, why the whole time this lady was across seas, she was cheating on him. Yes, cheating on him. So apparently, when she had got deported, he said like 2 or 3 months after that, she had started a whole new relationship. And I'm like, but how do you know? He said because when he went through her Facebook and went through her messages, the guy that she was with, they was making fun of him. They was laughing at him, calling him names. The guy that she was with was saying how stupid he was for sending her money, this and that. So apparently, she never had cancer. She never had cancer. And the money that he was sending to Mexico was basically taking care of her and her new family. She had met a guy, had a baby with him and everything. Yes, had a baby with him and everything. So I was like, what? He said, yeah. So he was like, after that sent him into another depression. So he got hooked on drugs again because he was like, he didn't know what to do. Keep in mind, he said he hadn't talked to his parents in like 2.5 years. He went no contact with none of his family because he was upset with all his family because he felt like they was all in on it, getting her deported. When all along, yeah, his parents the one did it. The rest of his family members ain't have nothing to do with it. But he was so mad and so hurt, he went no contact. And he said, that sent me into depression. He was like, because at that point, I didn't even know how to grieve her. He was like, I was mad at her for doing that to me. I was mad at her for unaliving herself. And he was like, at the same time, I'm like, how could I be so stupid? Not to mention, he said he had stopped talking to his family members. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what? And he was like, yeah. I'm like, well, do you talk to your family now? And he said, yeah, he talked to them. He said after he found out, that basically she was playing him while she was in Mexico, he said, he forgave his parents and he started talking to them, and now they're building the relationship up. He finally got off drugs and, basically, yeah, he moved to Houston for a new start. Yeah. I was like, man, I'm sorry to hear that. And because I was wondering what happened to him. He just fell off the face of the earth. And he was like, I just felt like she was cheating on me the whole time. And I said, well, the moral of the story is you got to learn how to deal with your emotions, because one thing for sure, two things for certain. If you don't learn how to process your emotions and deal with your emotions correctly, you're going to turn to self-medication. And I told him that I'm glad that you don't do that no more, because it takes a strong person to, recover off of that. And I'm like, I just couldn't believe it, y'all. I just couldn't believe it. And I'm like, was there any signs that she was cheating on you? He said, yeah. He said multiple times, which was another reason he wouldn't marry her. He said multiple times, like, he didn't catch her cheating on him, but he caught her, like, having conversations with guys in inboxes, text messages, stuff like that. So he said, that was one of the reasons why his parents never liked her. Because anytime he would catch her, it would be a whole big thing. You know how you go through it with the person you with, and then you go, run your mouth to your people, and then, yeah, y'all get back together, and they're not so forgiving as you forgiving. It was one of those things. So he was like, that's why he didn't marry her, because he wanted to prove them wrong. He wanted to prove them wrong that, hey, she's with me for me. And I'm like, see, yeah, but that's why you can't have people in your relationship like that. Like, that's why you got to be real careful. Like, and it's hard because we all need somebody to vent to, but you got to be careful of who you vent to. And at the same time, you got to understand, when you go venting to people, like, you still got to be responsible for what happens in your relationship. Like, you got to understand the backlash that come with. But yeah, y'all, I was just like, dang. But as always, y'all, it's definitely been fun. What? Big back and big back and big back.